Ha! Ranch and what's his name? You forgot, didn't you? What is his name? Bowie, right? Wait, if anyone has seen they need to call the name. The reboot of not the Douglas Race. Total Drama. What is his name again? The boy with the black boy, right? Well, once he's mixed black, with the blonde hair. I forgot his name. That's Raj in the lefty, and then I'll call him Bowie. I think it's like Blank David Bowie, the singer that basically died. That was known in the 70s from that record show episode that played that little I don't know, that little cute little cool styles saxophone, whatever. Gay! Oh, sorry, just had to get that out of my system. I was watching a video from Nick Shirley. I did comment on it. You know, I don't know what I was talking about because it's supposed to be about fugitives and basically drug smuggling and whatever. And I'm just saying that he's really professional and saying that he's not gay because he's not, right? And for my straight men out there, my straight boys, do not feel guilty to say that because you know what? It's the same way as saying if you're a white boy, do not feel guilty of that either because that's just who you are. That makes sense. Or the straight part, that's part of who you are, I suppose. It's Thursday, 10/19, and it's the 21st of August on a Thursday, and just a little bit off topic, don't you hate how some certain towels, it's kind of like it's as though that I kind of get a little goosebumps though, when it has weird soft material, but it's too soft. It's similar to how you would get snow, right, when you hear that claw. Oh, think about a cat that would crawl on, that was scratched on the chalkboard, right? I get that feeling when I look at towels. I don't know if I have a phobia of certain towels that look like that, because I got towels in here, but I don't like how they're too soft. Okay, I'm so weird. It's an autistic, basically reaction I'm having. That sucks. So, the thing is, because I wish I could be involved in some, either to be the fire department or law enforcement. That'd be way too much for me, because Zelda, she's an officer on my channel, by the way. Also, hashtag justice for Dumbbell, right? Because of what he go through of his brother that has not been arrested yet. Long story. If this is your first time here, just ask him if you're curious. And I did comment on a few videos so I could get my voice heard. And I do miss my apartment 260. I want to move back. I do. If we can basically get this channel growing and hopefully I can get popular and make a difference and move back to my old neighborhood, that would be lovely. And also being free to film around in public, even though I live in Arizona and it's a one-party consent state. But people sometimes they like to use their power not to be on camera. I don't know why. Whatever. The thing is, okay, I'm so sorry because I was watching that video earlier. After hearing what she's been going through, including Deon that was involved to basically stop those predators or whatever, I noticed that a lot of them are men. And as someone that is a gay guy himself, I want to share this, right? Also, I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. I guess saying, Deon, you should talk about a gay topic. Yeah. So, being gay, right? Yes, there could be gay predators out there, especially lesbians, whatever. Okay, as someone that is homo-romantic and questioning, right? I made this up, by the way. I just did that just to sound fancy, I suppose. Well, I am Aries, but I do find boys attractive. It's just that I don't like sex or anything. I guess you could say that my gray sexual side that kicks in, which means someone that is ace can feel, well, I don't like sex, right? But I like to watch porn. But not, let's just say I would watch it because I'm bored, right? But I won't do anything. It's a little complicated. Okay, if you're not a spade, you may not understand. Yes, there's a spectrum of us. I'm not kidding. As someone that basically have been taken advantage of by other boys, men, whatever you want to call it, guys, right? It's a little complicated. Because I know women, they are more likely to become victims of crimes than us men. Sadly, because, you know, you think about drugs and you basically think about rapists, etc. Because us men, we basically have higher testosterone, which means you gotta look out for men that act that way, especially because of their height and whatnot. My experience as someone that is an Aries, right? Questioning here. Well, homo-romantic, I should have just said that instead, whatever. Well, I guess homo-romantic because I am attracted to the same sex, I guess. Again, I don't like sex, and I'm not really much a romantic person. It's complicated. Okay, it really is. Plus, I just want to sound special for crying out loud. I am a spade, okay? It's just that a sexual attraction, if you're a guy with a big penis or whatever, and maybe a nice navel and abs, and really tall, and having spiky hair, maybe wearing a necklace or something, and having a deep voice, and maybe have some pubic hair, I guess. and Happy Trail. That's pretty track. It's a little complicated again, right? I'm so sorry because I don't know what I'm talking about. Also, I don't know what other videos I want to make at the moment because this map book is really outdated. And please pardon me that you're probably thinking, Deon, you're not making any sense. Feel free to sneak away. I like to take my time to talk. Okay, this is not a CEO type of video. Don't like that? Watch those other YouTubers instead. Okay, watch science videos if you need. Thanks. If you are a gay guy, okay, I want to give some tips. Okay, I don't know how this is gonna work. Well, I didn't, again, I don't like to, this is not a damn movie. Pardon my language. Just means I'm not using a stupid script just to basically do videos like this. If you're a gay guy, right, think about how you have the app, which I do not like. Grindr, for example. Yeah, it can be a little bit daunting to use. Please be aware and do not feel hesitant to screen or whatever if you are being stalked by basically men that would message you, or let's just say asking you if you want to fuck, right? I didn't know that is until I got a little bit older. I'm not kidding. I know what fuck means. I'm not kidding, right? Which means they just wanted to have, they kind of want to rape you, or depending on their little tonal texting language, right? TTL, I like to call it. And not wearing condoms, right? If they're not doing any of those, that's a sign that you're in danger. Let me just explain this. So someone that is a rape victim, right? And I don't have papers or whatever to get proof. So if you don't believe me, that's fine. Do as you will. Okay? Gay, man-on-man rape doesn't get talked about enough. Now, I know that men can get raped by women, absolutely. But I'm talking about the man-on-man version of it. Because people thinking that, oh, both of you are men, right? And you like each other. Then it's consensual. Not always. Especially when it comes to those are not consensual age. Or basically older teens that like to take advantage of adults that like to lie about their age. Let's just say 16 or 17 as for example. I don't know, because some teens, they could look much older than they look these days. It's insane to me. You'd be surprised. Basically, especially in some countries that it is illegal, right? Again, these are men, for example. These are not children that I'm talking about here. Men, right? Or at least this is a topic I wanted to share about, okay? There is nothing wrong with basically calling the police or anything. Okay, now I'm sure how it is where you live or the state, even out here in the US, of course, being gay is legal, right? It is. It's been like that for the past decade now, which is wonderful. It's just that a lot of men that feel guilty to talk about this, even though that we are less likely to have domestic violence compared to lesbians. I do not know why. Maybe it's because we're more feminine, I think. Maybe it's because in our DNA that we tend to be more caring compared to lesbians that are more on the masculine side. And from our women out there, there is nothing wrong being masculine. I want you to know that, honeys, there is nothing wrong to be masculine, okay? I want to repeat myself again. There is nothing wrong with being masculine, because if that was the case, then we wouldn't have women that would be officers or that work in constructions, right? Again, women can work in those. If not, you're fucking sexist. Pardon my language. Okay? And I know YouTube may remove this, and oh yeah, by the way, I will show a screenshot afterwards that they rejected the appeal because, oh yes, it violates our terms and conditions, and we want to make YouTube a safe place. So you're making a safe place for predators or pranksters. Thanks a lot, YouTube. Thanks a lot. That's because I want to talk about guy's stomach. Wonderful. So the thing is, from my experience, right? How male, I don't know. This is the random image I chose of Raj and Bowie, right? I think that's his name, if I recall. Okay? This is fan-made. I thought this is real. This is supposed to be based off Total Drama Rama. Not that great of a series, okay? Basically, how sex works for men. Okay, you may be thinking, oh yeah, like how that weird Uganda man says with the poo-poo, right? The men can poop here. Again, for my straight people out there, you know that you can bang a woman in the anus, right? So that doesn't make any damn sense. You get my gif, right? Literally, you could bang a woman in the anus, not just a vagina. If that was the case, then we would have such a problem with teen pregnancies that would actually happen, or basically, let's just say, a lot of miscarriages. Yeah, I know what I'm seeing here, right? Basically, that's the same. That's how men have sex. Okay? sexual intercourse. I hope to Buddha YouTube do not remove this. That's why I'm posting this on the backup channel, which is this channel, not the main one, because I don't want to risk it unless I get rid of one of the darn guideline strikes, okay? Men do perform by having their penis inserted to the men's anal hole, right? Anus, whatever you want to call it, which basically hits his G-spot to basically perform sex. Okay, and as someone that has been a rape victim, it's a little complicated to share this, because I always thought that what those men did to me, that was normal because of how men cannot get raped. Yes, we can. Okay, it's just that it's not discussed about more, right? And also the other sexual practices, because we're both men, right? Which means we cannot reproduce. Right? But yet again, though, there are straight people that cannot reproduce and they have sex. Or there are space like me that is not interested in sex, right? Yes, asexual. The A in the Latin language is without. Okay? Which means I don't want to have sex. Now, there are space out there that do wouldn't mind. It depends on which type. Same way if you think about an autistic person, right? There are different levels. I'm high functioning, which means I'm seen as the normal type. I'm not normal, though. Then you got the mid functioning that may have more slurred speech, and then you basically got the low functioning ones. I hope these are appropriate for me to say this, right? That basically are either have Down syndrome. Well, not always though, but let's just say I don't like the R word, okay? But I don't mind people saying that. This is how people say the N word. At least a lot of blacks do. I don't like that word, okay? That would be mentally challenged. This means they need help changing their clothes, whatever, right? And after the same, maybe after watching all these police or crime videos, it just got me interested. I do want to talk about games or whatever, especially the Kirby reaction I did, right? Again, I like to make, I like diversity or topic diversities, okay? I want to talk about this police videos or whatever. I like to talk about mental health. That's one of my main favorites in geography. But the thing is that a lot of men, they feel a little embarrassed about this. And as someone that basically got taken advantage of online, right? By that young town person. I wish I basically got to support the ship did, because he did a lot of stuff to me. I don't want to talk about it again. Okay, if you're curious, I could talk about it in live streams, okay? Because I want to this before, well, I got 5 hours until it starts. But, because it's 10:30 right now, okay? 5 hours even. It's a big problem because I know, let's just say, in countries that being gay is illegal, basically to not feel hesitant that this man took advantage of you. Heck, lie if you must. Okay, do not say, especially, well, I'm thinking maybe in Indonesia, for example, at least in that region, ACA, ACEH, right? Or even in Saudi Arabia or Egypt, because I know I don't think you will get killed, but you will get imprisoned. Actually, I'm not sure how spades are treated in Middle East. I'm not sure if I will feel really welcome there, okay? Because I guess you can say I'm the absent sexuality. Yeah, that's what the A stands for, okay? Call me mysterious, okay? Because I don't give consent to that, right? And it's the same way if someone was stealing, but they're stealing your body because they're taking advantage of it, right? That's what it means. And I just wanted to say from my mouth out there, there's nothing wrong with just speaking up on it. It doesn't make you a wuss. It doesn't make you weak, okay? It doesn't. It makes you a warrior. Yeah, look at that, 3 W's, right? And another thing that I noticed about how the problem with L is it's called MLM, which is male loving male, which means it's another term for gay, right? We even have our own flag, okay? Basically, from what I've been seeing on porn, at least educating myself on that, and yes, my mother, she did see me. I wasn't naked, okay? Watching a 9-inch French man's dick. It's huge. And I love how he has freckles on his stomach. It's kind of hot. And his navel is in nice shape. It's like a black hole. But, excuse me. Sorry, that's my ego sexual side kicking in. Again, I'm a spade, but I'm thinking about, what's to say, gay porn. Or, he does have to be gay. The male body, whatever. Okay? So, another thing that I've noticed, right, is that, because I want to learn more about this. What happens on that app? Okay, Grindr, for example. And Grindr, they do have an issue for this sometimes. I haven't used it ever since, right? There will be men that were catfish, which means they would just use older, well, they don't, at least they don't use AI. Thank Buddha for that. but they would use someone else's pictures, which is catfishing, right? And then photoshopping, that's another thing. Just to basically lure men to think that they're harder than they are, just to have sex with them. I just want to say this for the men out there, okay? Please do not do that. Don't, okay? Or if you basically want to have sex, because there are positions, right? Bottom, if I remember correctly, it means that you would receive anal, while the top basically means they give anal. Definitely say that ahead of time. Otherwise, it should be considered rape at this point. Also, physically touch. Honestly, I wanted to say this another thing. A lot of people thinking that if a man has a bulge, or he may be a little erected, right? It does not always mean that he would have sex. Because let's just say it could be, especially maybe the climate that you live in. Because I know, let's just say if you live in a tropical hot climate, I think men's penises may be a bit larger, right? Maybe why in Ecuador they're known for being big, but yet again in the Philippines they're not known for being big. Who knows? Okay, I don't know, but I just know for a fact maybe that's why they're a little bit more hung. I don't know. I don't. Yet again, though, the French people have long dicks. I don't know. Okay, basically, it doesn't always, especially of his size, it does not always mean that he's horny. Okay, or erected. Okay, if he basically tells you to stop, please respect that. Okay, otherwise it would be considered borderline sexual assault at that point, right? And as someone that basically did have 67-year-olds that would catcall me, told me, or ask if I could suck their, you know what, I just got the phone out, recorded them. Don't worry, they weren't naked, they're driving, or they're about to do a quick right turn. Right? Because they know what they said. It was so perverted. And I told them, I'm asexual, keep driving. Right? Because they know what they did. Because I look young for my age. Okay? I wanted to say this for my men out there. If you look young, definitely do not feel hesitant to dress older if you basically have the appropriate clothing. Right? I'm not sure that basically helps. I'm just saying this out of my mind because, I don't know. I wanted to just do a video because I'm bored. And I just wanted to just get one out of my system, I guess. I don't know. Maybe because I want to get my voice heard. Again, back to the bulging part, right? It is normal for us men to basically have random erections. It's really normal. Same way for women, boobs may be a little bit revealing. You know, the cleavage, which is the Y shape in her body, right? For my women out there, you know what I'm talking about, right? And then your nipples may be a little bit exposed. It does not mean that you're being sexual. No. Same way for us men, right? Yes, some of us may have revealing bulges. Doesn't mean that we are wanting to have sex. I don't get where people come this from. I don't get it. And that is the case, then there'll be, well, yeah, there's a lot of damn, oh god, male rapists out there. There'll be much more than there should be, right? And it is a problem in certain cultures or whatever because of how people think that men cannot be supported or basically be heard by it. You know, Buddha forbid with the skies out there in the land of Mars, especially where I live out in the desert where I sweat a lot. Right? Doesn't mean that I want to have sex with anyone, or doesn't mean that, oh yeah, another thing, from Arizona perspective, it doesn't mean that's to add a little bonus, right? Because I know the gay community, they're known for doing a lot of drugs for some reason. Just because my eyes are bloodshot red does not mean, okay, that I do drugs. I remember some weird Mexican man asked me, oh, you smoke weed? Does it look like I smoke weed? Does it? And even so, that is none of your business, eh? Honestly, not to mention, well, I think we have 1 or 2 days left before we start to dip down to the hundreds again. Yeah, we were around 110, and then we might be down around 98 degrees. So that's much cooler than I thought. Yeah, I'm not kidding. 98 degrees is cooler for us around this time of year. Okay, and it doesn't make any sense to me that people are always thinking that stereotypes. It's a great thing. Now, depending on the stereotype, Canadians being friendly, that's a good stereotype. Or basically blacks being athletic in the Olympics. That's a healthy stereotype, right? Or basically Asians being smart, even though that's always true, right? That could be a decent, healthy stereotype. Okay, I don't know. Okay, they're all different, but in unique ways. And I just don't get why people basically would have to put each other in boxes for this, right? And again, as someone that has been a victim of all of this, it felt good to talk about this because after seeing all those videos, because I kept viewing them, it made me want to speak up about how I feel about it. So, again, I know this is really poor, because I gotta read all of this online. Again, this is without a script, this is without research. Well, you know, that would be in the past. This is basically all by memory. I hold up for my men out there that I do want to practice sex with another man. Okay. Oh yeah. Another thing I wanna ask. For my men out there, this is why gay apps are 18 for a reason. Okay. Well, one, because you're having sex with another person. Two, well, you want to trade nudes, obviously. Three, if you live here in the U.S., do not feel hesitant to carry pepper spray with you. Do not carry a gun. Okay, don't. Keep it at home, right? Or maybe depending on your state laws. Okay, I just know out here in Arizona we do care all the time, but I don't think it's wise to carry a gun because if you run and shoot him, that just makes you a murderer. Okay, literally, as someone that carries pepper spray around me, I'm surprised I not used it just once. Do not feel hesitant to carry that with you. Okay, because make it not obvious. I want to give a little tip. Okay, definitely do not feel hesitant to use a keychain. Okay, with a plushie maybe. I don't know. Okay, and if a man ever does anything to you, do not feel hesitant to spray or call the police. If he ever does anything extreme, let me scratches, whatever, would just be considering battery. So to speak right, do not feel hesitant. I know in my state though, we don't really have a law against hate crime here. So I don't know though. I'm not sure. You won't get far for being gay, I believe. But at least out here, I know that we basically do treat people with disabilities really well here. That's why we got fries. I'm not kidding. There are a handful of people that are disabled, maybe a little legally blind, that work there, or even have cerebral palsy. There's like an older man there. So yeah, we're really, really tolerant. Well, no, we're accepting of people with disabilities. Okay, basically, blanket Dumbo, for example, that is autistic. So I don't know. I thought that would be a good one, and there you can basically get one at Walmart. I highly recommend buying the Sabre spray. Really strong. Okay, I've been having this for 5 years. I use it as an experiment in the sink in our old apartment 260, but that's about it, right? And also, I just wanted to say this. Another radar that I wanted to share for my boys out there, right? If a boy does, let's just say you're straight as a ruler, okay? Now, unless there's something happened to you, I understand if you're homophobic, just please do not assault them. I understand if you're homophobic, I do, but because I don't want you to go to jail, okay? I don't. Well, depending on where you're from, maybe, or the state that you originate, okay? Because, sorry, I chose this image of Raj and Bowie for it, but, especially for my straight boys out there, okay? Do not lure, that's another thing, okay? Do not lure boys that you think that might be bi, pan, or gay to basically, I guess you could say, there's a word for it. Oh no, I forgot. Gay approach? I don't know, that's a word, I made up that word. Basically, approach, right? But in a gay manner, okay? If you pretend to be gay, I'm not sure that's a good definition, okay? Just to beat him up, you're gonna go to jail. Okay, so, again, just because men that are, I don't know what I'm talking about, because I don't want to make this video too long. Sorry, I'll take all that back. This too, DL, okay? Do not feel hesitant to carry pepper spray. Do not feel hesitant to say stop, or even if you basically have kinks, fetishes. A good word I want to say, and maybe encourages, if this is okay for the gay guys out there, say candy corn. Basically, the reason why I'm saying candy corn, okay? If you're doing a sexual act or whatever, or if it may be considered sexual, okay? You think about code yellow, because candy corn is yellow, right? To slow down. Okay, to slow down. And then I can't think of another one. I just think yellow in the middle. Okay, red, it would be apple, which means no, I don't want to do this anymore. Apple. Okay, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I wanted this sound unique. Okay, I don't know. I just want to give out tips when it comes to basically sexual or rape incidents for gay guys out there. Okay, and then the third thing is the TDL, okay, which is the tone texting language. If they ever give you any threats or anything, or you're being stalked, do not feel hesitant to call. I'm not sure how it works though, because I know they say just block them. But if you know their address or whatever, and then you're being followed, do not feel hesitant to go to maybe the police department, I guess, and then maybe giving evidence to them. I don't know. Okay, as someone again has been a victim of all of this, I wish I knew more about this stuff, but it happened. But it makes me more, even though not always, but at least at night it does. It made me a courageous person, because if it happens to me again, I'll be prepared for it. So other than that, I hope this basically helps. And also because one of my viewers, Mason, and now another one that I had, Daniel, I think that's gay as well. I hope this basically helps.